I never thought the person who would try to destroy my life would be the one who shared my childhood bedroom, the one who knew all my secrets, the one I called my sister. My name is Sarah, and this is the story of how my older sister tried to get me arrested at the airport, and how the moment that was supposed to break me completely became the moment I finally stood up for myself. Let me take you back. I grew up in a quiet suburban house with two sisters. I was the middle one. Emma, my older sister, was always the golden child. Beautiful, confident, the one who got straight A's without trying, the one who everyone said would do great things. I loved her. I looked up to her. Even when we fought as teenagers, I still believed we had each other's backs. After college, I moved to another city for work. I became a marketing coordinator at a growing company. Life was good. I had a small apartment I decorated with fairy lights and plants, a circle of close friends, and a steady relationship with a kind man named Michael. Emma stayed closer to our parents. She got married young, had 2 beautiful kids, but her marriage was rocky. She never said it out loud, but I could feel the jealousy sometimes. The way she would comment on my free life, my travels, my freedom. I tried to be supportive. Every time I visited home, I'd bring gifts for her kids. I'd listen for hours while she complained about her husband, her in-laws, her weight, her life. I thought that's what sisters do. I thought blood was thicker than anything. But something had been shifting for almost a year. Little things. She started asking me for money more often, small amounts at first, then bigger. I helped when I could. Then she began making subtle digs about how I was always flying off somewhere while she was stuck here. I brushed it off. Families go through phases, right? That particular trip was supposed to be special. I had saved for months to attend a big marketing conference in Europe. It was a huge opportunity for my career. Michael surprised me with a beautiful necklace the night before I left. I was excited, nervous, and happy. I packed my bags carefully, printed all my documents, and headed to the airport feeling like my life was finally on the right track. I had no idea that my own sister had other plans for me that day. I remember pulling my suitcase through the terminal, heart beating a little faster than usual. International travel always made me anxious. Emma had offered to drop me off, saying she wanted to see me before I left. That should have been my first warning. She rarely did things like that without a reason, but I wanted to believe she was just being nice. We hugged at the curb. She looked tired but smiled. "Safe flight, little sis. Text me when you land." I waved goodbye and walked inside, completely unaware that in the next 30 minutes my world would shatter. I joined the long TSA security line, scrolling through my phone, reading last-minute emails. Everything felt normal. Then I noticed 2 TSA officers walking down the line, looking at passengers. My stomach tightened a little, but I told myself it was nothing. They stopped right in front of me. "Ma'am, we need you to step aside." My heart dropped. "Me, why?" The male officer looked serious. "We received a tip that you may be traveling with fraudulent documents." I actually laughed at first, a nervous, confused laugh. "That's impossible. All my papers are real." They didn't smile back. They escorted me to a private screening area while other passengers stared. I felt my face burning with shame. My hands started shaking as they asked for my passport, my visa, my ticket. And that's when I saw her. Emma. She was standing near the entrance of the screening area, watching everything. Our eyes met. For a split second, I saw something in her face that made my blood run cold. Satisfaction. The female TSA supervisor came in. She was a tall, no-nonsense woman in her 40s. She looked at my documents, then looked at me. Then she looked toward the direction where Emma was standing. I was crying by then, quietly, begging them to check everything twice. I don't understand. Why would someone say that about me? The supervisor kept examining my passport under a special light. The silence felt endless. Then she spoke. And what she said next changed everything. But I need to tell you how we got here first, because this wasn't just some random airport incident. This was years of resentment that finally exploded. Let me go deeper. Emma and I were only 2 years apart, but we lived in completely different worlds growing up. She was popular. I was the quiet one who loved books and drawing. Our parents always compared us. "Why can't you be more like Emma?" I heard that sentence hundreds of times. I never resented her for it. I just tried harder. When she got married at 23, I was genuinely happy for her. I helped plan the wedding. I was her maid of honor. But after the Bobbies came, her life became harder. Her husband lost his job twice. Money problems. She started resenting me for not having kids yet, for still having freedom. I ignored the red flags, like the time she borrowed my credit card without asking and maxed it out on shopping. She cried and promised to pay me back. I forgave her. Or the time she told our parents I was dating someone inappropriate when I wasn't, just to make herself look better. I let it go. But the real crack started 6 months before the airport. I got promoted at work, a big promotion with a nice raise. I was so excited I called Emma first. Instead of congratulating me, she went silent. Then she said, "Must be nice. Some of us are stuck with real responsibilities." That hurt, but I still sent her money when she asked for help with her kids, school fees 2 weeks later. Then came the conference invitation. It was in Paris. 5 days, all expenses paid plus a small speaking slot. This could open doors for me internationally. When I told Emma, she asked if she could come with me. "Just for a short break," she said. I explained the company was only covering me. She got angry, really angry. She hung up on me. That was the moment I should have seen it coming. But I didn't. I still loved her. The week before my flight, she suddenly became sweet again. Calling every day, asking about my packing list, offering advice. I thought she had come around. I even told her my exact flight details. Now I know why. Back in that cold TSA room, my knees were shaking. They had taken my luggage for extra screening. I kept repeating, "This is a mistake. Please just check everything." The supervisor looked at me for a long time. Then she said something I'll never forget. "Ma'am, we know who made the call." My head snapped up. "What?" She glanced toward the observation window. Emma was still there, pretending to look at her phone but clearly watching. The supervisor lowered her voice. "Your sister called our tip line 30 minutes ago claiming you were traveling with fake documents and possibly carrying illegal substances. She gave very specific details about your flight." I felt like the floor had disappeared beneath me. The room started spinning. My own sister. The person I had defended my whole life. The one I had helped over and over. I started sobbing. Not loud, dramatic sobs, but deep, broken sounds that came from somewhere inside my chest I didn't know existed. The supervisor's face softened. "We deal with family disputes more often than you think, but here's what she doesn't know. Your documents are completely legitimate. Everything checks out perfectly." She paused, then leaned in. "And because we record all tip line calls, we have her voice on tape making a false report." That was the moment everything shifted. The shock turned into something else, something sharper. I looked through the glass at Emma. She was smiling slightly, like she was enjoying this. She thought she had won. She thought I would be detained, miss my flight, maybe even get banned from traveling. She thought she could pull me back down to her level. But she had no idea what she had just done. I wiped my tears. I looked at the supervisor and said words I never thought I would say about my own sister. "What can I do about this?" She smiled. It wasn't a kind smile. It was the smile of someone who had seen too many Emmas in her career. Actually, quite a lot. That was my turning point. I was done being the good sister, done being understanding, done swallowing my pain to keep the family peace. What happened next in that airport is something I will remember for the rest of my life. The TSA supervisor told me they could file an official report against Emma for making a false security threat. In the post-9/11 world, that's an extremely serious offense. It could mean fines, possible jail time, and a criminal record. But I asked for something else. I asked to speak to my sister. They let me. I walked out of the screening room with my documents in hand. Emma's face changed when she saw me walking freely. The smile disappeared. "Sarah, what happened?" she asked, trying to sound concerned. I stood there for a moment, looking at her, really looking. At the sister I had loved, at the woman who had just tried to ruin my future out of jealousy. I spoke quietly, but my voice didn't shake. "I know it was you, Emma." Her eyes widened. "What are you talking about?" "They have the recording, your voice, your exact words. You told them I had fake documents." The color drained from her face. She started stammering. I was worried about you. I thought maybe someone stole your identity or something. I was trying to protect you." I almost laughed. The lie was so pathetic. "Protect me?" My voice rose just enough for nearby people to glance over. "You tried to get me arrested. You wanted me to miss this trip. You wanted to humiliate me." She started crying, real tears this time. "Sarah, please don't do this. Think about Mom and Dad. Think about my kids." That was the moment I realized how selfish she had always been. Even now, she was using her children as a shield. I looked at her and said the words that had been building inside me for years. "You did this to yourself, Emma. I'm done protecting you." I turned around and walked back to the supervisor. I told her I wanted to press charges. I wanted the report filed. What happened next was pure justice. Airport police arrived. Emma tried to leave, but they stopped her. They played the recording right there. Her voice was crystal clear, describing me in detail, lying about fake visas and suspicious behavior. She broke down completely, begging, apologizing, saying it was a mistake. But it was too late. They didn't arrest her that day, but they issued her a citation and told her federal authorities would be in touch. Making false reports to TSA is no joke. It can follow you for years. I made my flight, barely, but I made it. As the plane took off, I looked out the window at the airport below and cried again. But this time, the tears felt different. They felt like release. During my 5 days in Paris, I did a lot of thinking. I spoke to Michael every night. I spoke to my parents, too. They were devastated when I told them the truth. For the first time, they really heard me. Not the version Emma had painted, but the real story of years of manipulation. When I came back, Emma tried everything. She showed up at my apartment crying. She sent long messages. She got our parents to pressure me to drop the charges. But something in me had changed. I refused. The case moved forward. She ended up with a hefty fine and 6 months of probation. Her husband found out the full story and filed for separation. Our parents set strong boundaries with her. For the first time in my life, I felt free. I didn't do it to destroy her. I did it to save myself. 6 months later, I got another promotion. This one even bigger. I moved into a better apartment. I started traveling more for work, and I finally understood something important. Family is not supposed to break you. Love is not supposed to feel like chains. Sometimes the most powerful revenge isn't loud or dramatic. It's simply refusing to stay small so someone else can feel bigger. Emma and I barely speak now. When we do, it's polite and distant. She's working on herself, she says. Maybe she is, I hope so. But I no longer carry her weight on my shoulders. I'm living my life, fully. And every time I go through airport security, I remember that day. Not with pain anymore, but with quiet strength. Because I survived the worst betrayal from the person I trusted most. And I came out stronger on the other side. If you're watching this, and you're going through something similar, please hear me. You don't have to keep forgiving people who keep hurting you. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do for yourself is to let them face the consequences of their choices. You deserve peace. You deserve to fly. Thank you for listening to my story. If it touched you, please share it. Someone out there needs to hear that they're not alone. Until next time, this is Sarah. Take care of your heart.